Alright, I'm Zane with Graywhale Entertainment and Out of Our System.
And I'm Devin, the producer of the Out of Our System podcast, filling in for Dustin while he's on vacation.
This is the Graywhale new release update for the release day of 6/11/2013. Real quick, I'm going to start with some things that Dustin would want us to talk about, but since he's out of town, I'll cover them. First off, available on vinyl again, we've got Chet by Chet Baker. We've got Lightnin, Hopkins, Walking This Road by Myself. The Isaac Hayes Greatest Hits singles. And Max Roach, Deeds Not Words. Some great blues and jazz and soul reissues on vinyl here that are available. Last week, Dustin talked about the official bootleg version of the new Jason Isbell album, Southeastern, sorry. This is the official release for Southeastern, and this comes with a free download card for the album. And again, this is a guy from Drive-By Truckers. This is solo work, and he's fantastic. So if you're a fan of anything like that, like alt country or anything like that, this is great. Also in the country vein, we got the Spirit Family Reunion, which is a great blend of foot stomping, bluegrass, country, folk that will actually make you get up and dance at your family reunion.
Or hoedown.
Or your hoedown, yeah. And then Sturgill Simpson on 30 Tigers, the record label. This is just straight up, pure, unfiltered country. Like, country is country is country. And it sounds great. It's straight out of Nashville, and it sounds like Nashville, and this is really good stuff. This also comes with a free download if you buy this. Moving into metal, my favorite, we have a new album from Deafheaven called Sunbather. Deafheaven is a really cool blend of black metal and post-rock. So the two together end up making these really great, long, ambient black metal anthems, basically. And this new album is basically very similar to the last one that came out. It's not like a drastic change, but you know, not changing from something that was already great is great. This album is very highly recommended. Black Sabbath has a new album called 13, and this is not some sort of neutered version of Black Sabbath, not featuring any of the original members. This is Black Sabbath with everybody in Black Sabbath. Ozzy is in this. So there's 3 versions of this. There's the vinyl, there's a deluxe CD that comes with 3 bonus tracks, and then there's a regular CD of this. The vinyl comes with a free download for the record as well. And in addition to the record, we're giving away tons of free stuff. We've got posters and stickers and all kinds of stuff to give away at every Graywhale location when this is out. Got finally available on vinyl on Southern Lord. This is Hessian. This is very super crusty, really aggressive buzzsaw sounding, hardcore crust metal type stuff. If you're a fan of like Entombed or Dismember or Nails or anything the like, this is definitely worth picking up. Scale the Summit is prog metal, is ultra prog metal. So if that's your genre, this is probably your major release to pick up this week. And speaking of progressive metal, classic metal band Atheist has 3 reissues of their original 3 studio albums. This is excluding the 2010 album Jupiter. This is just Elements, Unquestionable Presence, and Piece of Time. This is like the technical death metal band from the early 90s with a little bit of blended in progressive sound, jazz, and Latin guitar work and things like that. Very interesting sounding, and if you're into classic 90s metal, this is awesome. A cult metal band, Devil's Blood, called it quits a little while ago. They released an album called The Thousandfold Epicenter, I think it was called, and it was stellar, absolutely amazing. They came here on the Decibel Tour. This is called Tabula Rasa, or Death in the 7 Pillars. This is the collection of half-finished demo tracks, unreleased stuff, things that they had in the studio that they couldn't release while they were around as a band. They put everything together. Now, a word of warning, if you are a fan of Devil's Blood, I've heard that this isn't so great as far as collections of unreleased material goes, but if you're a diehard fan, you probably should still pick it up. This is available on LP and on CD. So,
cool. some stuff that I'm going to go over. Jimmy Eat World fans, this is your week. This is their 8th album. It's called Damage. It has a lot more energy than their last album did. It kind of feels back like they're back in their groove, and I don't know, I think a lot of people who like some of the earlier stuff are going to like it. A lot more up-tempo.
The last album kind of put me to sleep, but this one actually sounds a little better. I like it.
Yeah. We have the new Surfer Blood. This is their follow-up to Astro Coast, and it actually has the physical CD inside the album. So you'll get both by purchasing this. First time ever vinyl release for Spinal Tap. Deluxe gatefold. It's got original liner notes as part of it.
If you've ever seen the original Spinal Tap, it's an amazing cult classic film.
Great music.
Mockumentary. But the music is as good as any other real album. But
yeah,
it's
it might as well be a real
very
album.
Funny. So that soundtrack is awesome because it hasn't been available on vinyl for a very long time.
Boards of Canada. They have their new album, Tomorrow's Harvest. It's sort of an avant-garde. It's got an electronic sound. Just a duo guys. Very ambient and forward-thinking. Very cool. And then we have Sonny and the Sunsets, Attenda to the Afterworld. This is beach pop. It's very cool, Bay Area guys. And the cool thing that I was liking about this is that this is actually on clear vinyl, and it comes with the MP3 download code as well. So you have that.
So moving into some stuff that we've got on CD as well. Stick with the metal here for a second. I've got 3 reissues from a band called Reverend Bizarre. It's a Finnish doom metal band that's not that old, but their stuff wasn't very widely available. So 3 of their albums are actually being reissued by Season of Mist, which is a great metal label for a lot of European stuff and American stuff. But basically, if you're into doom metal, anything that's like Black Sabbath sounding, cleaner style vocals, not growling vocals or screaming vocals, this stuff is great. Like, it's awesome sounding, and I would definitely recommend that. The Black Dahlia Murder has a new album called Everblack. If you've ever listened to Black Dahlia Murder, it's basically just death metal. If you pick this up at the Graywhale stores, we've got free patches to give away with this, so you can throw them on your denim jacket or use them for whatever, but you'll get one with purchase of the album. Children of Bodom is one of the first bands that ever got me into metal. Children of Bodom just has a new album called Halo of Blood. There's a regular and there's a deluxe that has bonus tracks and a making of DVD. Children of Bodom is just straight speed, power, party metal, and it's just relentlessly fast and in your face. So I've been a fan of Children of Bodom for a very long time. Church of Misery, the doom metal band, has a new album called Thy Kingdom Scum. Every track they had an album called House is the Holy, I think it was called. Every track was named after a serial killer, so you kind of know what you're getting into with this. It's very, very cool. It's actually on Rise Above, which I've talked about on the video before. Really cool psych and doom metal label. If you're a Lord of the Rings fan, or you like metal that sounds like it's in Lord of the Rings, there's a band called Summoning, and this is called Old Morning's Dawn. And literally the goal of this CD is to transport you to Middle Earth. The songs and the audio sound like epic folk black metal that's designed to have a fantasy.
So if you're feeling a sense of adventure,
yeah,
that's the CD for you this week.
The post-punk or post-hardcore band Boysetsfire has a brand new album on Bridge 9. And basically, if you're a fan, you should be excited about this. And if you remember listening to these guys, they've been around for a very, very long time, since the early 2000s, I think. And you should be excited. And something on a little bit on the weird side, there's a band called Author and Punisher. It's basically just a one-man project. The CD is called Women and Children. It's on Seventh Rule, which typically does like a lot of like weird metal and hardcore stuff. And or not weird necessarily, but metal and hardcore stuff. This is a really interesting blend of doom metal and straight industrial music mixed with like sub-bass tones. I don't want to say dubstep because that's kind of a dirty word to some people, but in a good way. This is a really interesting blend of metal and industrial music. So those kind of go hand in hand for a lot of people. So if that's kind of how you feel about that, this is also worth checking out.
Cool. First off, I have 2 soundtracks for you guys. The first one is Man of Steel. Hans Zimmer did this. The other soundtrack is The Bling Ring. This has a ton of different artists on it, and you're guaranteed to like one of them. Sleigh Bells, Lil Wayne, MIA, Phoenix, Kanye West, Deadmau5. They're all on this album, so check out the soundtrack. Andrew Stockdale, he is the lead singer of Wolfmother. He is basically Wolfmother.
Yeah, he basically owns the name of Wolfmother now. He's the one-man band of Wolfmother, but this is his solo project.
Solo, yep. So that's that. Pick it up if you like Wolfmother.
Got some electronic-ish stuff to talk about. First, I've got Gold Panda out. Gold Panda is really cool, glitchy, avant-garde electronic music. It actually still has a groove to it. It's not so ambient and disjointed, but it's really great to listen to and really interesting. It's definitely a headphone record. Two things on Sacred Bones. I've talked about Sacred Bones before on the video. They're a record label that basically anytime anything comes out on Sacred Bones, you should be paying attention. There's 2 albums out. There's Case Studies, which is actually Jesse Lortz from The Duchess and the Duke. It's just more of a more traditional indie and folk type thing. And then the one I actually like a lot is Lust for Youth. This has got a very, very 80s influenced dark industrial synth sound to it. Somebody put it basically, imagine the techno club that Sarah Connor is in the original Terminator movie when Terminator busts in and shoots up the joint. That's what this is for. So this is riding the wave of all that 80s nostalgia that's so huge right now. Something called Mix Hell on Last Gang Records. This is actually Igor Cavalera. Yeah, it's Igor, the drummer for Sepultura. This is a rock electronic experimental album that he's just done. This is the first thing that they've done in that way, and it's pretty interesting because he's coming from like a metal band and he's doing some sort of like strange electronic thing. So give this a shot if you're a fan of Sepultura, if you're a fan of electronic music. And then speaking of South America, with Sepultura, this is CSS, a Brazilian band. This is a grab bag mix of indie with new wave, with electronic, with noise. I mean, it's basically dancey indie electronic music, and this new album should be no exception. So it'll get you dancing. We got something called the White Men Dingoes, and this is actually Murs, the rap artist, with Daryl Jennifer from he's the bassist from Bad Brains, the legendary, DC punk band, hardcore band. This is their album that they're doing together. It's on Fat Beats Records. And then everybody's favorite comedy duo, Lonely Island, or trio, Lonely Island, has a brand new album called The Whack Album. And they've been releasing one track every Wednesday for like weeks on end, basically, from this album. Now the whole thing's out, and when you buy this, you get a CD and a DVD, and the DVD includes all the music videos and sketches and things from SNL that they've done. So you basically get the total package, and this is as funny as everything else that they've done. There's some great tracks like YOLO on here, and I don't know, the whole thing's great. So check this out. YOLO is a 7-inch for Record Store Day. It's got Adam Levine from Maroon 5. It's about being paranoid because you only live once. And then real quick, just 2 folk things. I've got, trying to remember, Aoife O'Donovan is her name. She's actually in a band, a bluegrass folk band called the Crooked Still. This is her solo career stuff that she's releasing. She's a really, really great vocalist and songwriter. She actually wrote the song "Lay My Burden Down" that Alison Krauss performed, or Alison Krauss put on one of her recent albums. And Alison Krauss asked her, like, please record this because you're better at this than I am. And so if you're into anything dealing with like folk or alternative country or just good indie singer-songwriter stuff, this is great. And then the Date Palms, the Dusted Sessions. This is out on Thrill Jockey Records. Thrill Jockey's a great label because they actually kind of do a good mix of a lot of different genres. But this is straight desert music. This is imagine yourself in the desert. It's got great droning guitar textures mixed with violins and strings and horns, and you really imagine yourself in the desert listening to this, and I'm a big fan of this one too.
Ready for movies?
Yes.
All right. We have 3 Disney releases this week. So the first one is Atlantis. Then you also have Lilo and Stitch and one of my personal favorites actually, Emperor's New Groove, and this one comes packaged with Kronk's New Groove as well. So you have all 3 of them on Blu-ray. You know how the Disney Vault works. You're not going to be able to get these forever, so definitely stop by and pick these up. Awesome Netflix series, House of Cards. Now you can finally have it. Personally, if you don't have a Netflix account or whatever, and you've been hearing everyone talk about it, you can get it this way. The Great and Powerful Oz. James Franco, Mila Kunis. Very cool movie.
It's a big prequel to The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah. Everyone's favorite internet comedian, Tosh.0, Daniel Tosh. I actually don't know what is on this. Is it just his
every
series?
Every season that he does of his TV show is named after what he decides to wear. So you've got deep V's, you've got hoodies, or you've got, you know, different things. This is actually cardigans plus casual jackets. So it sounds like it's either 2 seasons or a season and a half of his TV series, which is basically him taking things from the internet and making fun of them and cracking jokes in front of a live audience. So
yep, that's his thing. But very cool if you like Daniel Tosh. And then Hansel and Gretel. Jeremy Renner, everyone's favorite Hawkeye. This is a movie that got shelved for a little while, but finally got put out by the studio. So if you like it and this is your thing, check this one out too.
So we've got some music DVDs to talk about first. We've got 2 Grateful Dead releases. There's Grateful Dead View from the Vault 1 and 2. These are actually just live concerts from 1990 and 1991 in Pittsburgh and Washington, D.C. respectively. These have got really long set lists of all the favorites if you're a Grateful Dead fan. So these are just more live performances to catch if you're a fan. For the first time, there's Paul McCartney and Wings Rock Show being released on DVD and Blu-ray. This actually has a huge set list of classic Paul McCartney and Wings songs. So if you're a fan of the Beatles or if you're a fan of Wings or any of his solo material, this is like a pretty big deal that this is being released, because this concert's actually from 1976 when that was just in its prime. So got the movie called Killing Lincoln. The latest movie about Lincoln by Steven Spielberg didn't focus so much on his assassination. This movie is entirely focused on his assassination, and it's actually produced by Ridley Scott and Tony Scott and narrated by Tom Hanks. It's based on the book that Bill O'Reilly wrote about the Lincoln assassination and all of the events surrounding what led to and what happened prior and up to the assassination. So that's interesting if you're a history buff. And then the HBO series Newsroom. This actually has Jeff Daniels in it as a main character. It's actually by Aaron Sorkin, who was the creator of The West Wing, and he actually wrote The Social Network, so he's very, very in touch with things like political dramas and modern culture and the media and things like that. And Newsroom basically focuses on that. It's a political drama set in a newsroom, and it's stellar. And this is the first season, and the second season starting in July on HBO. So watch this, and you can get caught up, and you can watch it. It's great. So that'll do it, but there's way, way, way more than we had time to talk about. Tons and tons of stuff that we had to cut. So please come into a Graywhale and talk to one of the staff about what came out. Look at our list of everything that came out. Look at our new release walls. And as always, you can preview anything you want to listen to. You can get any information you need from any employee. Also, you can remember to pick up your Twilight Concert Series tickets at every Graywhale location. They're just $5.75, and you can buy any ticket for any show for the entire summer at any Graywhale location. And then remember to add us on Facebook. Go to facebook.com/Graywhale, or on Instagram and Twitter at GraywhaleSLC. We post all the time, all kinds of cool stuff that's going on.
And remember, there's, like Zane said, there's a lot of things that we don't cover here that we do end up covering on the Out of Our System podcast. So be sure to check that out, outofoursystem.com, or Facebook, Twitter, Out of Our System.
And remember, if you enjoy these new release videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can get these regularly updated, because they're up every Tuesday morning around 10 a.m. Mountain Time. So if you like these, subscribe, and we'll keep doing these every single week. And don't be a dick, shop local.